Good afternoon, audience of She Said, He Said. This is Alex. You can also call me Alex Lexus or Lex or however. I want to give a shout out to Rob. Just being a little proactive because I missed out on the last show, episode 22, which featured our guest Ro, Kira, and Smart Brother. I call him Noop. You guys know him as Rob, but just pulling my weight here and wanted to contribute a solo episode that I know that I didn't have time to produce earlier, but I just wanted to get this in the books, in the record books. But I just wanted to kind of touch on, what it's like from the male perspective, being newly engaged. Now, a lot of folks, don't really talk about that too much, but I'm just gonna give you from my perspective. This will kind of lead as a segue to with the rest of the staff because I know Kira can definitely add to this discussion in terms of having been married in the past and everything. So she's not available now. She's at work, and I'm here, and I just want to get this in the shoot. So this will serve as a part one. But I would say I've been with my lady for over a year, and like a year and a half. Creeping up on that. Recently engaged back in December, and one thing I will say, the biggest difference from dating as opposed to going into an engaged commitment is the fact that I am no longer an individual where I like to ride motorcycles. I like to buy my accessories. I'm like a tech nerd and all that stuff, and I would like go and splurge on myself here and there. Now I can't do that. Like I pump the brakes now, where I have to consider, my fiance. I have to be like, all right, you know what? Is it worth getting yelled at or getting fussed at for something where now I have to just like double check, make sure, hey, babe, is it good if I take care of, like buy a motorcycle helmet, motorcycle parts, or get an Xbox game or something? Like now it becomes a partnership, and you have a lot of men who can't handle the maturity of knowing that you're gonna give up, you're gonna sacrifice that sort of freedom, like to get up and go as you please, or not having to answer to anybody. So if you're gonna get engaged, you're gonna get married, you gotta really consider that. Like some folks don't want to lose their individuality, their identity, and whatnot. And I do believe with the proper communication and proper compromise, it shouldn't feel like you're in a cloistered situation where or feeling claustrophobic. But which brings me to my next part of the discussion is that once you enter this committed environment, now you have to consider a lot of compromise, a lot of communication. And if your mate is not compromising, then that's something that really needs to be hammered out. Where I know that me and my lady don't always see eye to eye, but one thing that I make it my business to do is to compromise. You know, if you gotta meet each other halfway. And I know we're beating a dead horse. Might even be touching on a topic from season one, but I just wanted to touch on it because for me it's really fresh. I could definitely use Kira's expertise with her experience, so to speak. But in terms of the communication, whatever you want to do, what you're okay and not okay with, you have to make that crystal clear. Because anything that's vague or left to interpretation can create a nasty void where folks will take action or do things and say, "Well, I thought I told you." No, you didn't tell me. Like, make sure that things are clear because that can definitely, be catastrophic to a strong foundation. Trust is very important, and I know trust becomes more of a concern or more important, more prevalent when you do leave the dating environment and you become engaged, because you have to be able to close your eyes and know that your mate is gonna hold it down while you're either in a crisis, you're away, or what have you. Dating, if you're not really that serious about somebody, you probably won't even care if they make a mistake, if you're not thinking forward thinking and say, hey, I'm gonna marry this person, I'm gonna be with this one. So there's just, but from my perspective, it's just like, I know that I just Robert would understand this better. But if I'm like playing a game and I'm like playing Halo or Call of Duty, I'm trying to go through a door. Now certain doors are closed off because there's just certain barriers or certain boundaries you don't cross anymore. Certain friendships need to end. You know, I know I had to end a couple because they were, detrimental to my relationship, and I guess I'm one of those dunce guys who just don't see the signs that certain women were throwing in my direction. Women don't see it from other women, so I had to get schooled pretty quick on that. But just have to be a little more cautious, going into a committed environment. But, my goal is to keep this short. This will serve as episode 23, which I want it to be a two-parter. I'll run that by Rob and see if the girls would be interested in partaking in that. And just rate, comment, and subscribe. Leave your comments below. And if you want to follow us on Facebook, just look us up. She Said, He Said. I'll have a link to our Facebook discussion forum if you want to be a part of the topics or a guest on our show. So this has been Alex Lexus, or Lex as you want to refer me to. I will see you on the next She Said, He Said. And shout outs to Rob for trying to expand, because we're actually going to be getting more exposure on semi-mainstream. So anyone that wants to be along for a ride or help contribute to our product, that'll be greatly appreciated. So this is Alex Lexus signing off. I'll see you guys next time.